This thing right here is letting all the ladies know what guys talk about.
I was like, I can't put him through another One Direction intro.
Yeah.
So let's go back to 2000.
Ooh, that dress so scandalous, and you know another nigga couldn't handle it. So you're shaking that.
Did he just say the N-word?
I think so. They still do that.
Did he say it with the? I know, but like a pop song.
Yeah,
Was
they
that okay back then?
No, they muted it.
Or did he say nicka?
Nicka? What would nicka be?
I don't know, like a slang term for the other word. Maybe. I don't know. Nicka?
Nicka.
My nicka.
Yeah. This is my cousin, Nicka.
My cuz.
Yeah, my cousin,
My
Nicka.
cuz. Welcome to the Bill and Joe Show. What have you been up to this week? Because as we spoke in the last 2 episodes that came online last week at the identically same time.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. I was. It wasn't that I was being lazy. I was just really busy, you know, with work and the kids and stuff. And but we had been talking a lot about going to see washed up, you know, bands, which is why I'm wearing a Guns N' Roses T-shirt right now. Would you even be interested in going to see them on this one concert that they've signed up for, or have they already canceled it?
Well, they're going to do Mexico first. They're not going to do it in America first.
Okay.
So I think they're going to work out the kinks in Mexico and then come do a festival in America.
Work out the kinks. Like, by that you mean?
Well, like, as far as I know, Slash and Axl haven't even rehearsed together yet. Like, Slash and the band is rehearsing.
Okay.
And, of course...
So Duff,
Slash, whoever's drumming, and then whoever's playing guitar.
Right. Now, I don't know if you have seen this, but it took us the last time that we were talking about it. I don't have cable here.
Right.
So as we discussed, you know, I've been watching a lot of Will and Grace, but I had to give myself a break. I just need a break from that. I bought the Blu-ray 6-set DVD of Star Wars. So, I mean, my kids have been going nuts about the original Star. Oh,
right.
So I was like, oh, we gotta go get, you know, you got to see the beginning, and of course they both love Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
They're like,
did
he's
they
funny.
really?
He's funny.
God.
I like him.
And watching it again, because I haven't seen those since they came out.
Right. Did you go to the movie theater?
Oh, yeah.
Right. It was a big deal.
I probably saw it twice in the movie
Right,
theater.
right,
Because back
right.
then I would do stuff like that.
Right.
Like now, I go to the movies like once a year. There's no way I'm going to go see something twice.
Right. Right.
And I can't imagine it gets better with time. Like, oh, yeah, it's been 10 years. You should check it out again. Jar Jar Binks really wasn't as bad as you thought.
It's so bad. Man, I'm watching it now, and I know that it was ahead of its time, so I have to give it that credit. Like,
With
I
the
know,
effects, you
like
mean?
the CGI, yeah.
Oh, like when they go underwater, it's so cartoony.
Yeah, I mean, but at the
And
same
that
time,
that pod race.
yeah, the pod
it's
race with that
terrible.
lizard or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, there are certain scenes where, like, Han Solo talked to Jabba the Hutt outside of the Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had the old film into
yeah.
the new one,
Right.
and it looks horrible. But at the time, it was like, whoa. I always thought it looked horrible, but
Yeah.
it was amazing. So anyway, I went and got the new ones so the kids can watch it.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, they're in love with Jar Jar. And I was listening to one of my favorite shows, Robinson Markley, and they were saying they had an audio clip of the guy who did his voice.
Oh, Jar Jar?
Yeah.
Is he white?
I think he's black.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have assumed it was some white guy doing a terrible Jamaican.
No.
you crazy.
No, it was in this guy, I guess, who did the voice for Jar Jar, because obviously he didn't do the whatever.
The acting?
Yeah. But
Was he not the actor on set, though?
Well, I'm sure he was walking next to...
Because I remember seeing the photos of them, like, it was like a big apparatus he wore on his head. Because
Right.
his human face is in, like, the neck of Jar Jar
Jar
Binks.
Jar.
So then he has this like green tube over his face,
Right, green screen
and
stuff.
then they have like these eyeballs on top of them, so that when the actors are talking and they're looking at the right spot,
right,
they look at the eyes
right,
to converse with this fake thing.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
This guy, he he was really, and I totally relate to it. Like, he was like, he's doing this interview, and he's like, I spent a lot of time like soul searching for this character.
No shit.
No, yeah, I know, but I mean, you got to also be like, yeah. I mean, if you're going to do voice acting, you have to be part of the character.
Right.
I'm running into it with Eleanor.
Yeah.
Like, all of my characters sound the same.
Right.
Like, I can't.
Well, you gotta think about if you're gonna do a voice, you gotta think about where's this guy from, why would he talk this way, and you figure those things out. And knowing what we know now, it's ridiculous to hear him talk like that because it's so stupid. But imagine if like
he was very proud.
the guy that did the Chewbacca sound for the first time, he could have done the same thing. Like it could have fallen flat, but it was awesome.
Right,
Because
right.
Chewie was awesome.
And I mean, even Darth Vader originally it was David Price who was the physical character of Darth Vader,
Right.
And he had all the lines. Can you imagine being him?
Yeah.
Like,
He
at
was,
the end of at
he
the end
was
of
a
the
little
day,
surprised when it came out.
at the end of this day, he's like, "Man, nailed Darth Vader! Whoa, what a boost!" And they're like, no, we cut your audio and put in James Earl Jones.
And all those times he had to go, line, it's all right, David.
You're getting cut out anyway. But then you watch those movies, you watch Star Wars, and you see him like reaching out to Luke and being like, "I'm your father."
Yeah.
And you're just like, it doesn't really match.
Well, and when he chews out like Princess Leia in the first one, at the very first scene,
You are part of the Rebel Alliance.
and he's like pointing at her and like, you will. Blah, blah, blah.
It doesn't match.
Yeah.
It doesn't sync.
I don't know. It works for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Darth Vader will always be my favorite villain of all time. So, yeah, my kids, they just took to Star Wars, which I could not be any more proud.
That's great.
And they drug down, I just moved in, so I have a lot of empty boxes around.
Okay.
And they wanted to draw a TIE fighter. They actually told me that. It's TIE fighter.
They knew what it was called?
They had watched it enough that they wanted to make a TIE fighter. And so they...
That's the one that looks like a bow tie?
Yep.
Or...
No,
is that
that's
the good guys or the bad guys?
The bad guys. They're on the dark side with that.
Okay, so that's a because it looks like a bow tie.
Right. You're thinking of the X-wing.
X-wing. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
because
with
the wings look like it. They spread out
the
into an
wings
X.
open
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
But
See, I've seen the movie so many times, but I don't know any of this shit. Like, I remember being a kid when the new ones were coming out, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah," they were talking about like Tatooine and all these, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
And they're like, oh, Luke's home planet, like,
duh.
Well, dude, I didn't read the fantasy shit online. Like, it's in the movie. I missed it.
It's in the comic books.
I didn't see that part. All I saw
Right.
was the lightsabers and good and evil, and
Right.
and that's all I cared about.
And I love, like, just rewatching him now as an adult, how much George Lucas, everybody calls him like this brilliant mind here.
Yeah.
He basically just rewrote slavery. Like, I mean,
He ripped off.
he just took real life situations and made some shit up.
And even the fight sequences, and this is very public and it's on the records, even in the documentary of the DVDs,
Right.
how he literally took some of his favorite war movies
Right.
and pieced them and edited them into one long strain where he wanted it,
Right.
and then told the guys, do this scene verbatim
Right.
with our planes.
With our characters, with our androids,
ships.
whatever. You're
Yeah.
right.
And that's what they did.
It's like plagiarism.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
It's one of the
yeah.
greatest selling movies of all time.
He's like the Led Zeppelin of movies.
How so?
Led Zeppelin, all of their songs, like the majority of their songs, not like Stairway to Heaven, but like the bluesy ones
Okay.
that are all just mega hits,
All right.
and they all say written by Plant and Page.
Right.
You can go back in time and find a blues song that is verbatim the song that they're doing. It's just not sung the way that Robert Plant sings or as flashy of guitar, but it's same exact
the When I moved in here, I had
this isn't just a coincidence. I mean, after the 20th time, I think it's.
So I'm moving in here, and I've got all these boxes that I packed up like a year ago. I don't remember what's in them. It's almost like Christmas.
Right.
Like I'm opening up, I'm seeing T-shirts that I haven't seen in forever.
And you're like, who is this guy?
Right? Who is this?
Like you're in Eleanor.
Yes.
Who am I?
Yeah, that's what Bradley is doing in Eleanor. And so I'm opening up all these boxes, and then I remember I gave Danielle, I can't remember what anniversary it was, but I gave her a limited edition. Put it on the sticker of the CD.
Limited edition.
On
your own CD.
On my own CD. I gave her every album I ever wrote.
Collect all 5.
I have 7. Dude,
Oh, you
I
made
don't-
7.
Or 8. I don't know. Hang on, let me check. So I come across this it was all wrapped in string and shit.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
These are all the
9,
same
10.
CD?
No, they're all different albums.
Oh, wow.
So I've got 10 albums in the bank, and that's not including what's on iTunes.
Jeez.
But so my idea,
You're like Jimi Hendrix. You're gonna when you pass away.
box set.
Yeah, there's gonna be all. He keeps putting out new music. You're
He's
like
dead.
Tupac. He died 20 years ago. He's got a new CD out every year.
I do rap on some of these albums,
God.
unfortunately.
Oh, was that your Limp Bizkit phase?
No, yeah,
Or
that
your
was
Eminem phase.
yeah, I went through both of those, but yeah, each album has got a different phase. But
Yeah.
I had given this to her, and I forgot I even had it. I don't even remember grabbing it out of our
Was
old
this
house.
like part of the settlement when you guys split up?
Right. I get all my
You
music
get your music back.
Give it back. But so like I'm listening to this, like I've just off and on,
You don't have them on the computer? I think.
Well, I do on my old one, but I've already cleaned that hard drive and
Oh.
transferred it over to a Mega Drive or whatever they're called.
If this were me, I would have this in my iTunes, personal
Yeah.
iTunes.
No, not yet. I keep trying to upload it, but it skips. Like after you listen to like 3 songs in a row, it starts going. And I've checked the CD; they're clean of fingerprints and shit. I don't know why it's fighting me for me not to listen to my own music.
When you rip them,
Yeah, when I rip them, like even
they
the
get
ripped
screwed up?
copy, it goes.
something's going on.
I don't know what's going on. Like a higher power is going on. But I'm listening. I'm listening to these songs, and I'm like, yeah, slide. Like I'm like ripping off all of my favorite bands: Goo Goo Dolls, Matchbox 20. Like it's not.
It's
not
in the key of.
You're
That's
right.
what you should name this.
I have an album here
In the
key
key
of Limp Bizkit. It's right there. In the key of Limp Bizkit. I wrote 10 songs, and I'll never forget when I gave you a copy of it because I was like so proud of it. I was like, oh my God, dude, I'm playing drums, I'm playing bass, I'm playing guitar, I'm singing. Like, it sounds so much like Limp
I'm like
Bizkit.
Prince.
And, right. I'm amazing. And I came over to you and your wife's house as like a CD release party, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, you don't
Man, I
remember
don't
this?
remember this.
Yeah, you're the house that you're in
This
right
is like
now.
10 years ago or something?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, it was a while ago.
All right.
And I came over and we listened to it, and like I knew that you and your wife didn't like Limp Bizkit in the first place. So the fact that I chose the two of you to show
To come out with it.
to show a Limp Bizkit style album, it was a poor choice. But I think I just wanted to hang out and drink with you guys. But I remember
And you were excited. You just finished
Yeah.
it, and you were like, it was on your mind.
it was
Yeah.
it was production
Right.
and so much time. And I remember you coming to me I don't know, 2 or 3 days later, and you're like, dude, I got to be honest with you. That whole album is crap except for track 12 or 11. And I was like, track 11, so you liked it? And you're like, dude, man, it's really good. And I always had the habit of every one of these albums has a cover song as the last song.
It was the cover.
And it was a Limp Bizkit cover. And you were like, that song kicks ass.
That
I was
one's
like,
great.
that's not even my song.
The sad part of that story is I liked a Limp Bizkit song.
Yeah. And that's what I was like, yeah, see, you get it, man.
Yeah.
Now you're getting on the train. All right, cool. Oh man, where was I going with this fucking story? I started talking about